theater practitioner in Nigeria, and he was a dancer. Wow, dancer for the National Theatre Group in Nigeria, and also acted on the stage. At least he did drama. And this particular man moved on. His acquaintance with Nollywood actor and director Paul Obazele groomed him up in the film industry. He initially started as an actor featuring in films such as Scores to Settle, After School Hours, and a lot more. But his love for acting, for being behind the scenes, drew him into directing his own films. After directing a few films in Nigeria, he sort of agreed to direct a film for Ghana's production company, Venus Films. And after training, after directing a few films in Nigeria, he agreed to direct films in Ghana here with Venus Films. After turning down previous attempts by this same company, he actually finally decided to work with them. And so, on this special segment, which is called The Scoop, we have the pleasure, and it's my honor, to introduce to you the one and only Nigerian director that I admire so much, and of course a very good friend of mine he is, and he goes by the name Frank Rajah Arase. Frank, welcome to the program.
Ajo! Nice.
That's how he calls me. Ajo! Rajah.
King of boys. The youngest
King of boys. The youngest man in town. Thank you so much for the compliment.
Nice. Wow.
Well, nice seeing you again, though.
Nice. Are you sure you recognize me without my face cap?
In fact, I didn't. I'm surprised that you, because last time we were in Freetown working together.
Yeah.
So when I realized that I was like excited to see you again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you look good though.
Nice. Thanks.
And when I came, being that today is a very special day, Good Friday, I've been given the opportunity to sit here to interview you, and I don't think we need to ask questions that I know answers to, but for the people out there watching us, they would rather want to know some things about you that most relevant to the kind of work that you do. And so most of the time when we go for this thing, they ask you, who is Frank Rajah? I don't want to ask those kind of it's a bit elementary for me, okay? So, but I'll go deep, all right?
No, depending on how deep you want to go.
I like that.
Depending on how deep.
Now, let's say, what made what was the main factor that actually motivated you or inspired you to into the movie industry? Apparently, you started with stage, and then you moved on into movies. So, what actually inspired you, or what made you take that step?
Well, I think filmmaking generally to me is a culture, is a tradition for me. It goes beyond just admiring something. I want to do it. It's purely tradition for me. It is that zeal to wanting to know, always wanting to know. When you're a leader, you're born a leader. People learn, study to become leaders. But those that are born leaders, there are things you do, they come with ease. I was a dancer, I was a theater practitioner, I did all of this. For every step that I take, I a leader. When I was a dancer, I was a national dance director. When I was just like that. And when I tried the industry, at a period, it was all about this blood money kind of thing. This, before you know, this has done to gold, this has done. And I started as an actor. And wanting to understand how these magics are done, because I'll be on a set, and when I watch the film, it's something else. That motivated me to want to see what it really means to be a filmmaker, and that was the beginning of the journey. And
as the beginning of the journey to where you are now,
yes,
it means you have directed a lot of films.
Oh yes, countless.
Both in Nigeria and in Ghana
and other parts of the world.
So now, in other parts of the world. Of course, I know you do a lot of work. You have worked, and personally, I admire you so
Oh,
much.
yes.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Now, if I may ask, in directing in one country like Nigeria, directing in Ghana, other countries like Kenya, South Africa that you have actually worked in, and including Freetown, Sierra Leone, and things like that. What's the difference that you may probably come across as you're working in these countries?
You see, we are one people, one vision, one mindset, but we have different cultural understandings, different approach to life. The Nigerians are very aggressive in their approach, and we all know that. Ghanaians are on the calm side. We also know that. Sierra Leoneans and other, they're part of the other African countries that you see that you see them, you'll be like, oh, these are very reserved or timid people, if you want to put it that way. So for every project to take, it has its own challenges. For everyone you meet, for everybody you communicate or you want to talk to, they have the different understanding and approach to life. So being a filmmaker, you have to be broad. Your mind has to be broad, has to be open to be able to understand the person you're dealing with, the culture of the people, and where your message is centered on. And you know those that are going to be your audience, those that you want to actually pass a message to. Who do you want to give this message to? I'm making this film in Ghana. Is it supposed to be a Ghanaian film or an African film? How do I want those in the diaspora to see it? How do I want a Nigerian to see this film? How do I want a Cameroonian to see this film? What am I making this film for? So when I have the vision of what I'm doing and what I'm creating, I take, for instance, if I want to make a film for television, the vision for it is, what is the limit of this film? Who are those that I'm actually perceiving to see in this film? So it has nothing to do with the country. It has to do with the viewers of the film. If I'm telling something that has to do with culture of a particular country, then I can actually do a whole lot of research to make sure that that is done. But in terms of dealing with them individually as a filmmaker, it has to do with the person and the story that I'm telling. It's not about the person. It's not about the country. It has to do with the story that I'm telling, the interpretation of the story that I'm telling.
That means that you, as a film director, you are in charge of executing the creation of vision.
Yes, exactly.
And then, most importantly, trying to be responsible for the cast, the crew, managing all these things.
It's a huge one. I think that's the biggest challenges of the film
so
director.
let's get to the challenges. Which one gave you, which of the films that you so far did interacting, working with your cast and your crew, which of the films have you actually done which was like a nightmare to you?
Well, I just think that for every
because I'm sure you might have come across challenges and you might have come across difficult situations and things like that. Which one is the most not challenging, but nightmare?
I wouldn't say any has been a nightmare. I don't think there's any that I've actually filmed that was easy for me to make in. I mean, making film has always been very difficult. For the way I pick a script, it don't matter the number of years I've spent in making films, it doesn't come easy when I'm making it. Because my job involves a lot. It involves a lot. Like, I have to be in the mind of every character that I'm trying to tell. You see, there's a way people perceive, like, when I discuss with the other directors, the way I see their approach to filmmaking is different from the way I see it. I don't need to argue with them. I don't need to say A or B is right or C or D is not right or whatever. But you see, my approach to filmmaking has to do with the characters. Has to do with the characters as an individual, like dealing with an individual and your person, who you are, what you are, and how to deal with you, and how to separate you from the next character, so that the other cast don't act the same. And if I take, for instance, I've filmed with you in countless movies.
Yes.
That brings me to this point. Let me quickly correct you on something.
Yeah, tell me.
When you said until I came in filming, it wasn't Venus I filmed with first.
Anyway,
yes.
My producer, are you listening?
It wasn't Venus. It was Sami T, that's Samira Yakubu, the same producer of this film.
Samira Yakubu.
Yes, she was actually the first that actually succeeded in bringing
you down here.
Yes. But before then, prior to then, I've actually visited to wanting to make films, and one way or the other, no, you know. But Samira was actually very, and that's
Samira, who happens to be our executive producer of A Taste of Sin.
One of the part of it, yes. She's actually the producer of the Red Carpet.
Red Carpet, yeah.
Yeah, she's also the producer of that movie, then
Official Prostitute. Oh yeah, that was our first. Yeah.
That was actually my first film.
Yes, of course, I remember.
It was my first film in Ghana too.
I played the president, isn't it?
Yes. I had to.
Hey,
that's
Rajah.
a long time coming.
I like that one. So anyway, let's get on. It means that all along I realized that your passion for directing is so big, and why do you love directing instead of staying in front of the camera? You decide to come right to the back of the camera, and then
film to me. I mean, directing to me expresses that which cannot be said and of which it is impossible to be silent about. That when I'm making a film, I tell things that naturally I can't express it, and which is impossible for me to be silent about. Something I want to tell, something I want the world to see. Like I take, for instance, for every film I make, it is not like it's a cry out, like I need to express this and I want the world to see it. I'm not just looking forward to Ghanaians to seeing this. I'm looking forward just to for Nigerians, I'm looking forward to the world to seeing this. So it gives me a wider vision in anything I'm creating, and that brings me a whole lot of drama with my actors on set because
talk to me.
I need to bring them out of I need to bring them out of their shell, put them in the mood, give them that character that I want them to play, and I need them to see it through me. It's always a tug of war in trying to create something when I'm trying to work with my actors. It's not easy. My family, they are here.
Yes, of course, everybody's here. And that's why we are here. We are here because of A Taste of Sin. For those of you watching us at home, I have my colleagues here. Sonia is here, Akosua is here, Eze is here, and my honorable director is also here. We are all here because we are promoting this latest film, which will be premiered here in Accra, Silverbird, and then West Hill Mall, and then in Kumasi. So, but we shall talk more about it. But let's continue. Now, you are all here. We've all worked with director Rajah, and we know how energetic he is. We know how innovative he is. You know how he's very comfortable to work with us, and we also feel comfortable to work with him. I have worked with him severally, and I know. But I want to ask him one question. Why did you accept to direct this movie, which of course is religious, co-produced by a very strong man of God? And how did it happen that you accepted it and getting the right cast and crew to work to get this movie to where it is now?
You see, to a Christian or to somebody who believes in this, nothing is coincident to me. Everything has is within God's plan. It wasn't a coincidence that the Archbishop chose to work with Samira Yakubu, who happens to be a Muslim, to tell a Christian story. It wasn't a coincidence. It was divinely orchestrated by God Himself.
I believe so.
I don't think there are lots of Christian filmmakers everywhere. Yes. But to pick an Islamic person, a Muslim, to come and tell a Christian film, and to believe in, it wasn't me, Frank Rajah, he invited to come make it. It was Samira Yakubu, a Muslim. So there are lots of things that Archbishop does that you see that this is not just ordinary. There are lots of Christian filmmakers. But he picked a Muslim girl to come and tell a Christian story, and believing that this Muslim girl is going to give me something that I can preach about. So when I was invited, and I was like, Samira, it was you that they invited for the meeting. He said, Director Nassar said, that's how I saw it too. I said, it's okay, there's a reason for this. And this reason, we need to make it happen. We need to be in God's vision to make it happen. Yeah. So we sat, we had a meeting and all of that, and she was all out for it. And she actually did her best to make sure that the film came out the way it is. It was God's divinely.
Yes, I would want to believe that too. And so how did you feel like working with the man of God, Archbishop Duncan Williams?
I would say that I've always respected him as a man of God, but I would want to believe that my visit to the church when I came to Ghana to listen to his teachings actually had a lot to do with the story in question. When I was invited for it, after every other thing, the script was ready and everything done, and I came to Ghana, I needed to go listen to him touch. I needed to talk. After listening to his ministration, so I went again to the church to listen to it. And when I got to the church, there was a topic. It was the mantle of leadership. When I listened to it, I changed the story that I wanted to tell.
Beautiful.
When I went in again, the Sunday after that, I listened to another, then I created a sub-story to the film. So if you check, it was all coming from him, unknown to him, that it was inspiring me to tell the story that he wanted me to tell.
And then, but the premiere is coming on. Yes. Can you tell us, Akosia or Sonia, where and when the premiere will be coming
tonight. On? It's happening tonight at the Silverbird Cinema in West Hills Mall, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. And then tomorrow in Kumasi.
Kumasi?
Yes.
So the people in Kumasi watching us, you just get ready. Sonia is coming, Jackie Apia is coming, Michelle Majid is coming, Ezra is coming. Our own director is here, and myself, Kofi Addo, we shall be coming.
And I want them to know that it's not just today. It will continue till Monday.
Okay,
yes.
till Monday. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching us.
Yeah.
GTV Breakfast Show. This has been a very special edition, and I wish you all the best this Easter season. Wishing you God's grace, and we shall be with you again anytime, anywhere they call us to be soon. Bye.
Bye.
Nice one.